Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So I would love to know, where are you based currently?
Yeah, we are currently based in Stuttgart in Germany. And what about yourself?
I'm Stockholm. I'm in Sweden right now.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed in your profile. How is the weather there at the moment?
Kind of rainy actually.
Yeah, it's terrible over here. I mean, we had so much fog yesterday. I couldn't even walk outside while I was having a cigarette.
Totally the same right here. So I would love to know more about what are you building right now. You showed interest on raising capital. Isn't that the case here?
Yeah. Yes. So, if I could give you just a brief summary, Ziad, we have been developing over the past 6, 7 years an asset class rotation platform. So, how it works is we've been collecting data over a very long time, and also through the use of some proprietary software. We've been able to analyze historical data and understand how funds flow between different asset classes and how we can leverage that for consistent returns. And with a special emphasis on how to preserve and, in fact, grow capital during bear markets. That would be the number one USP I try to share with our investors and when we go to pitch to customers. And I have a big, whatever, small pitch deck that we've been using. But essentially, if I could describe it that way, it's how we minimize losses that eventually allows compounding and to maximize return over a 5 or 10 year horizon, if I could summarize it in that way.
Got it. And how long have you been building the project that you have already started to work on?
So data collection has been going on for about 6, 7 years, but the full asset class rotation platform, I would say about 2 years. Yeah, we've been beta testing during that period, and we are live at the moment. We have a family office or two that have applied, but at the moment we are trying to see where it would be best in Europe to incorporate, because you may know Germany has very high tax requirements. So we are speaking to some agents to see either Switzerland or perhaps Luxembourg or Malta. So that's where we are at the moment.
Got it. And have you raised any capital before?
Before this, yes, I had a startup in a different field. It was an high-tech agri-business platform where we grew exotic fresh vegetables and marketed that hyperlocally in Asia. We raised, not so much, but for the exotic vegetable market, it was quite a large sum at the time, and we grew to become one of South Asia's largest producers of exotic vegetables, things like salad leaves, cherry tomatoes, all your kinds of herbs like thyme and basil. So that
How,
was
how much
our
have you,
first
how much have you
venture.
raised for the project?
This current project, so
Yes.
far we have a commitment of €250,000. But we have only pitched to maybe 2 family offices so far. Yeah, nobody institutional, and but so far it's 250,000.
You have already raised and you closed 250,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And why do you think this project will get traction?
I beg your pardon, I didn't hear that so clearly.
Sure. I said, why do you think this project will get traction from the marketplace?
So what we've been able to pitch and succeed with so far in convincing customers is that everybody knows that America provides a really strong growth outlook, but it's very easy during a bull market for anyone and everyone to make money. It's in periods like 2022, 2018, when the market takes a nosedive, that is when our platform looks to shine. We don't consistently, I won't say 2023, 2024, we significantly outperformed the S&P without the use of higher levels of risk. But we can for certain ensure that we beat the market significantly during bear markets like 2022 and 2018. 2022, something like the NASDAQ 100 showed a minus 30% return. Our fund provided a positive 10% return. So anything that is not a drawdown is extremely beneficial to a portfolio. If a portfolio goes down by, let's say, 30%, the amount it requires to recover that 30% is not just 30%. You require 40, 50% of a gain post that time to recover that gain. So we focus on the aspect of protecting investor funds while also offering upside return during bull markets. That's our kind of USP.
Got it. And you have already been working on the project for the last 2 years specifically?
Yeah.
Okay, and what the vision of this project? Where we can see this project with the next 24 months, if we say that?
Within 24 months, we have a goal within the first 12 months to raise at least 1 million euro. Within 24 months to double that to 2 to 3 million euro. If we look at how our strategy works, and I have this in more detailed in our business plan. So our strategy has, if I may talk about it in terms of a bandwidth. So it has the bandwidth to uptake at least 5 billion euro. So our strategy would not change at all, whether it was trading 1 million euro or 5 billion euro. And we have capacity to expand beyond that, depending on risk parameters of investors and institutional investors.
Okay. Have you tried to raise capital before this try that you are currently on?
Not for this venture, no.
Why not?
So I am working with a startup here in Stuttgart. So they are still, we've only had a few meetings so far, but there's a lot of regulatory compliance. They're saying that in Germany, a lot of, let's say, whether it was a grant or something like that, it cannot be used directly in the investment fund. But I am looking to set up meetings with investors locally in Stuttgart. We've only been here about 2 months, I would say. So this is a recent move for us to locate here in Europe. But we hope to be having some more meetings in the near future.
Okay. And so why you haven't raised the capital before? Why do you think that you couldn't do that? Is it like lack of connections, or is it like what the case right here?
2 years?
Sorry?
Do you mean over the last 2 years?
Exactly, yeah.
So the last 2 years have been more or less based on beta testing the platform, because we didn't want to go to customers and say, okay, in theory it works, but now we can say, look at our track record for the last 2 years. We can also show, during the downturn of 2022, how we performed. So it's very good to show on paper that it could work in theory, but we wanted to have a beta test with a set of investors who used their money as well as our own privately raised capital, and show how it performed in the market. So we did not try to raise capital until now. So it's not that we have been turned away per se.
And can you tell me more about yourself? What have you done before this project? You have already raised capital for a startup, as you have already mentioned to me lately. But what about your background? Can you tell me more about it? I would love to hear it.
I have a background in chemical engineering. I studied chemical engineering in the Netherlands. I also completed my master's degree in business management from the University of Almeria in Spain. I have been fortunate over the last few years to have a mentor who is a multiple high placing finisher in the US investing championships. And through their mentorship, I have been able to develop this platform, really. So it's been a very interesting education, because it's not the kind of education you would find at a university or even at a bank. It's been side by side with a very strong mentor who trades has been trading since the year 2000. I'm not at liberty to disclose their name, but if you do a few Google searches and you look at the US investing championships, the top 10 names, there are a few names who are regular, and it's one of those people. So this is a strategy that has been vetted.
Okay, he running a hedge fund?
Them or me?
Right now.
Myself?
No, your coach. He running a hedge fund?
They run a private office, yes.
Okay, and can you say how much they have managed it before back in the days?
I wouldn't be able to comment on that, but less than $1 billion.
Okay, you can go ahead. Continue. Thank you.
Yeah. So through those experiences, I've been able to refine the platform and also pitch to different members in the banking industry to take their insights and guidance as to how I should go about this. So it's been a long process because it was only really 2 years ago that we had some kind of a breakthrough with respect to the platform, because it was a lot of theory based and trial and error to understand how the platform could work in different environments. So that's why over the last few years, we've really accelerated the approach up to the point now where we are looking to raise capital.
Got it. And why do you want to raise the capital target right now? And how much the capital targets that you're looking to raise right now?
Within the next 12 months, 1 million euros. That would allow us to, generate sufficient returns to attract further investment. The goal, like I mentioned, is to grow it as large as possible and consistently, because one of the other benefits we have is we don't use leverage. A lot of hedge funds use leverage, banks use leverage. So we are able to provide customers with a high rate of a return without significant risk to their capital, which is something that's not being offered readily in the market.
So you're looking to raise the 1 million right here. Is it for the product? Is it for development? Is it for the strategy? Is it for...
It's for the strategy, for the investment fund. Yeah.
Okay. And the 1 million right here, would that help you to make sure that you will be on track to have the long-term vision?
Yes, most definitely, because then we could take that in the following year to raise another round and show more investors, and it'll be more or less like a word of mouth situation. I think it wouldn't be difficult because there is already a lot of interest in Asia, but I am looking to raise funds also in Europe.
Okay. And you're looking to raise 1 million right now to do the trading strategy side, and then from there you're going to raise more for the fund, and then from there you're going to achieve your long-term vision. Totally got it. My main question for you right here is, why do you think the project right here will stand out in the market? This is the first one. Second one is what the management fee that you will have, or what the payment fees that you will have, what the culture of the payments that you will charge the investors with the first 1 year, if we say that.
Yeah, those are great questions. If I had to put the USPs down to two main categories, it would be, like I mentioned, the minimization of drawdowns and the peak performance during bear markets. Whereas most well-diversified funds in 2018, 2022, 2008 would have returned a negative gain, we would provide a flat or slightly positive gain. So the delta that you create every time there's a bear market is tremendous, and it would largely dwarf any gain that most funds would get during a bull market. Secondly, with respect to fees, there would be a 1% fee on equity per year. And depending on the profit return of the fund each year, we have a gradient as to how much will be charged. So for example, I can pull up just to give you an idea, if the fund produced a growth of 20%, the customer would receive about 14.4%, and we would retain 5.6% of that profit. So as the annual return increases, we keep a larger percentage, but the customer also receives a growing percentage.
Okay, got it. And you have raised 250K?
Euro, yes.
Okay. And it took you, how long it took you to raise that 250K euro?
That has been within the last month that we have secured.
So within first months, you have secured 250K.
Yes.
How have you done that?
So we approached one family office that we knew through some associates, and we have a pitch deck, and I was able to pitch much like I did to you, and explain to them and show them how our platform works, the benefits, and they were interested and committed to joining the fund.
And why you don't raise a 1 million euro from them right now?
So they are not the biggest office at the moment, and a lot of their funds are already tied up in other funds. And also, we are a new fund with not a large track record, like I said. So to get that kind of an investment also in Germany, if you consider the risk profile of the funds here in Germany, they don't like, even talking about, even that sum was too big for some investors that I've been speaking to. So I'm not looking for ticket sizes smaller than 100K or 200K. And honestly, we have not taken forward some meetings with some investors who have said, my maximum is 50 to 100K. So we are only looking for customers who have a potential to start with that kind of amount and, increase maybe year on year.
Got it. Have you sent over any materials to our domain right here?
No, I have not.
Do you have any materials on what you
Yes.
have built so far?
So I can send you a one-page summary, a short business plan, and our pitch deck.
Yeah, after the call, if we would take this further, so I would tell you to send over some more materials on the project that
Sure.
I can review. And you are looking to raise the 1 million from investors. You don't want to get family offices in the place, or what the case right here, because you have already raised the 250K from a family office.
Yes.
And you have already told me right here that they are not willing to invest into your fund in the early stage, or they have ties with the fund, which is that will never be possible as a family office. If you family office, they will never have less than 50 million in their own fund. It cannot be called for family office. So they have the fund, but it could be that your project, it didn't make sense to them to invest into your project in the early stage.
Okay, that could be. I'm not against family offices, and I'm also not against debt. So there are both options are open, and we are also looking at the possibility of approaching insurance companies, because they do also invest in funds like this. So we're not really closing any doors at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, and are you willing to wait longer to raise that 1 million?
I mean, I don't think it will take so long. It's not such an aggressive goal for a new fund within 1 year. So I think it's an acceptable goal within 12 months. I'm not sure how you feel about that. Yeah. What are your thoughts initially, just from?
Yeah, I mean, with what do you have of connections to right now? Do you think that you can raise a 1 million in 1 year?
Personally, within my scope, maybe not, but we are meeting more people, every week. So I don't think it's too ambitious of a goal. No.
Got it. And where do you think that you have a problem right here? Where do you think that you are losing the investors? Or are you making them to lose the interest right here?
I don't think we have faced that issue yet. It's more about finding investors with sufficient risk appetite, because at least with the investors I've been meeting here in Germany, it's very risk averse, and they prefer to keep their funds in, what they define as more secure investments, because we invest chiefly in American companies, stocks, equities, bonds, and they prefer, less, in their eyes, risky investments, be it real estate or their European equivalents.
Okay. When do you have in your own plans that the whole fund right here will go completely live, or that you have already raised the first 5 to 10 million, and then from there you can go completely live with the trading strategy and you can start to do big money? Where do you have that in your long term?
That is within 6 months. We want to be live. At the moment, we are trading still in our beta platform, but as an officially launched incorporated fund, we have a target of the summer of 2025.
Okay. So you wanted to raise the 1 million right here. Why you wanted
Yeah.
to raise it now? Why you don't do it later on? I mean, you have already waited before, and I mean, you have already worked on it for this project for the last 2 years, and I'm assuming that you have already spent a lot of time for this project before that. So why you want to do that now? Why you want to go live with the project within the next 6 months?
Like I said, it's been more of a natural progression of the fund, from research into historical analysis, then to beta testing, then to the refinement. And now we feel like most of the development part of the project is over. And now it's just simply a question of offering this platform to potential investors, because most of the back-end work is done, and yeah, we can just offer it to people now, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, and for the paperworks and the traded, is the fund traded today in Germany, or where is it traded today?
Can you repeat that, please? I didn't quite hear that.
The paperwork or the legal documents for the fund, is it all completely done?
No, at the moment it's currently in private accounts. That's why at the beginning I mentioned we are looking to incorporate either in Switzerland, Luxembourg, or Malta.
Okay, why in these countries?
So in Germany, it's very prohibitive for investors. There's a lot of income tax implications, as well as corporate capital tax implications, as well as just general regulatory requirements are tremendous. So even from some of my former professors and people in the banking industry that we've been speaking to in Germany itself have said, we shouldn't be giving you this advice, but even Switzerland is just a lot less headache, and investors will be much more open to investing if you were incorporated there. And yeah, it's more of a ease of administration.
Yeah, so more it's easier to run away from the tax. That's it, in other words, right?
Not just running away from tax. Germany, there's a lot of bureaucracy and paperwork and filings, and they are really, for all the benefits of this great country, they have a lot of things that they are a little bit behind some of their counterparts in Europe. Yeah, I don't know what it's like in Sweden, but here it's a regulatory nightmare.